Astro, no. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D, don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb, I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental, let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought, no flow, rain wasn't pouring down. See, that pain was all around, see, my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn, flow was cool, but I still felt burned. Energy up, you can feel my surge, I'ma kill everything like this purge. Let's just get this straight for a second. I'ma work, even if I don't get paid for progression. I'ma get it. Everything that I do is electric. I'ma keep it in motion, keep it moving like kinetic. Put this shit in a frame, better know I don't blame everything that I say. Man, I seen you deflate. Let me elevate. This ain't a prank. Have you walking on a plane? Both hands together, God, let me pray. I been going right around, call that relay. Pass the baton, back in the mall, swimming in the pool, can't drink them all. Want a piece of this, a piece of mine, my piece of sign. Can you please read between the lines? My rhymes inclined to break your spine. They say that I'm so fine, you could never match my grind. Please do not waste my time. What you know about rolling down?
Our test of elk today, as you can see, it's on the pad right now. The pad is now closed. Everything is looking good, and we have our ground crew out of the area. Mission control is around the premises, and as you can see, we are a go for testing. All right, at this time we will have our elk Cyro test. Everything is looking good for our test today. You should be alerted when the test will begin. At this time, nobody is allowed on the pad and everything is looking good. Mission Control is currently working to make sure we have a successful test for elk today and make sure there are no failures. So again, thank you for joining us right now. We are awaiting for the test to happen. Everything is looking good on this stream today. We wish to have a successful flight. Ground crew has been detached from the premises. As you can see, tank farm has apparently activated on what our ground crew is telling us, that the tank farm has been activated. Hello, hello, hello. At this time, we have had a problem. We have had a problem, a little bit of a problem, with our test going on right now. But that is okay. Just it's everything is all right. We're just continuing. Everything is normal. If we do see any failures happening today, as for example a failure within the tank farm activity, we will have to stop today's Cyro test. But everything is looking good, and we are continuing our testing. At this time, the tanks are being filled with liquid nitrogen to operate temperature and to verify the vehicle can handle flight pressures in the tanks. Everything is looking good right now, and we will be waiting for our current estimate for these for the Cyro test.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Lock your Soyuz hatch and put your helmet on. 10. Ground control 9, to Major Tom. 8, 7, 6. Commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2. Detach from station and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade. And the papers want to know whose shirts you wear. But it's time to guide the capsule if you dare. This is Major Tom to ground control. I've left forevermore. And I'm floating in a most peculiar way. And the stars look very different today.
Ground team, stay at your consoles. We have a runner.
I sitting in a tin can. Far above the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing left to do.
All right, ground team. We right now seem to have a few more people than expected. We are trying to get the private citizens out of the area.
Though I've flown 100,000 miles, I'm feeling very still. And before too long, I know it's time to go. Our commander comes down back to Earth and knows. Ground control to Major Tom, the time is near. There's not too long. Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear me, Major Tom? Can you hear? Am I floating in my tin can? A last glimpse of the world. Planet Earth is blue, and there's nothing left to do.
Ground team, be advised. We have a ground team. Be advised. We have begun a vent. We see a bottom vent. Nitrogen is beginning to vent into the bottom of the vehicle. If you look closely there. Meanwhile, we had two private citizens decide to hop over the fence, but at this time, that's really nothing to worry about. Remember that this is basically spaceflight. This is the beginning of spaceflight, so please just, try not to do things out of the law.
Didn't know what time it was, the lights were low. Oh, oh. I leaned back on my radio. Oh, oh. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll, not a soul he said. Then the loud sound, it seemed to fade. Came back like a slow voice on a wave of fate. That weren't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all
Chavez. 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 Chavez.
Astro, no. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion, yeah.
It's a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair, but her mummy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go. But her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks through her sunken dream to the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a sad thing for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools as they ask her to focus on sailors fighting in the dance hall. Oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the low man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if you'll ever know who's in the best-selling show. Is their life on Mars? It's on America's tortured brow that Mickey Mouse has grown up a cow. And now the workers have struck for fame, 'cause Lennon's on sale again. See the mice in their million hordes, from Ibiza to the Norfolk Broads. Rule Britannia is out of bounds, to my mother, my dog and clowns. But the film is a sad thing more, 'cause I wrote it 10 times or more. It's about to be writ again, as I ask you to focus on sailors.
Testing, testing, testing. All right. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, please stick around. Although this takes time, don't worry, we're going to have a successful test. We hope everything is looking good, everything is looking nominal. At this time, we have some different camera views going on. As we have our ground team, looking into the situation. Everything is looking good, and we hope you stay here for a little bit. You can have us off the tab until you hear a little bit of things going on, because when you hear some commotion, then you know something's going on and something's going on good. So please remember to stick around and do not leave, because it would kind of suck if you guys left. As this stream, although it takes some time, it's still very important. So just stick around, have us on a different tab, and when you hear some commotion going on, you can feel free to stick around. Talk about commotion. Mid tank vent should be starting soon, so remember to keep your eye out.
In the dance hall, oh man, look at those cavemen go. It's the freakiest show. Take a look at the old man beating up the wrong guy. Oh man, wonder if he'll ever know. Who's in the best-selling show? Is their life on Mars?
Welcome back, everybody. As you can see, we are experiencing some long vent. The event has begun. It will be pretty much a long vent. Just remember to just stay calm. As we can see, we have a couple of you watching at this time. Just stay here for a little bit, and yes. So please remember to keep calm. And yes, thank you for joining. Right now, we have not finished yet. We will be continuing our Cyro proof test. And hope all of you guys are doing well. Remember that this is a test, so it can take a couple. It's a Cyro test, so it can take a couple of minutes to begin. But we're seeing some venting, which is good. It's always good to be able to see some venting on an ICW test. Elk will be our second rocket after Caribou. Caribou will have a good launch. We say that we will probably have, based on our schedule, we depend on to have our first Caribou launch by June 5th, 2021. Well, our first official flight, but our first test flight, depending on the timing, will be May 20th, 2021. So probably next Thursday, depending on how the time goes. And our second test flight will be on May 27th, 2021. Our first ever official launch with a good, a real payload will be on June 5th, 2021, called ATKPS4. At this time, we are waiting for our car boost static fire number 2 and our car boost our static fire number 2 before we have permission to go on with the first test flight. We've already completed our first car boost static fire. There was no live stream for that, sadly, due to some minor problems. But this is our test, and Elk will be the second of our carbu, the second rocket after carbu, and then we will begin have another rocket at this time, currently still under development. So just wait a couple of times. So please remember, everything is looking good, and this is Kendall Island, Elk Cyro test. We just wanted to say thank you to Ro-Padre for having such an amazing stream. Everything is looking good so far. We have our test today, and Mission Control has it covered. Alright, everything is looking good, and everything is looking nominal right now. As you can see, we have a live view of our launch site, of our launch site. It has just been changed right now. I don't think you can see the, you cannot see at this time the two carbos. Alright, there you go. You can start seeing it right there. You can see those two lovely carbos. I'm pretty sure, based on the information we have, that everything is looking good. Those two carbos right there are for test flights number 1 and 2. Here we are in Canada. Our wind gust is 17 miles per hour. Our rain is a little bit, not that much. Sunrise is 6:34. Sunset 20:43. All right, and we have our test today. It is May 11, 2021. Mission Control, a camera was active before. Launch teams are preparing for our Cyro test today. Why don't we have a zoom in on one of the carbos there. See how it will look when it is lifting off. Let's see, one of those carbos there, if we can. Let's just hope that we have a light. All right, I think we have probably some problems there, but oh, there it is. And look at that, you can see those two lovely carbos over there already on the launch pad. And then you see the third one, but it's going back to most likely Mission Control. I I'm so sorry about that. It's going back to the hangar for inspections. But at this time, we see those two lovely cargoes right there. Everything's looking good, and this is live on Ro-Padre.
Didn't know what time it was, the lights were low. Oh, oh. I leaned back on my radio. Oh, oh. Some cat was laying down some rock and roll. That is all he said.
Alright, ladies and gentlemen, then you can see that vent right there as we get a little bit ready for that good old, for our test. As you can see, you have that side vent right there, so we have a little bit of action. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking on. We have two lovely vents for Elk today. Everything looks fine and everything looks good. So we just wanted to say thank you for everyone joining us today, and we hope you stick around. Everything looks good on our test today. Please remember to stick around, because when you do stick around, exciting things happen. Don't worry, there will be much better activity, because this is a test, tests take time to happen, but when it's a launch, boom, just like that. When it's a static fire, sometimes, it takes a long time, but, when you're lucky. So, boom, as we were talking about earlier, we'll have its first flight on May 20th, which surprisingly is one of our team members' a relative of mine's birthday, so that's first. Everything looks good as we have a good vent, and we wish you to stay there, the people who are here, so please stay here. And our first launch will probably be to the public, most likely. If not, then there will be a good live stream, good coverage of this live stream. So just remember, we will always have live views, and we are now teaming up with Ro-Padre, so they can show us such lovely launches, so they can record such lovely launches for us, and you can see it live. If you have any questions about today's chat, please remember. If you have any questions about today's test, please put them in the chat. Those of you who are watching, we have 6 minutes till full tanks. 5 minutes later, after that, the depress will start.
Then the loud sound that seemed to fade came back like a slow voice on a wave of fate. That weren't no DJ, that was hazy cosmic jive. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He'd like to come and meet us, but he thinks he'd blow our minds. There's a starman waiting in the sky. He's told us not to blow it, 'cause he knows it's all worthwhile. He told me, let the children lose it, let the children use it, let all the children do it.
At this time, our ground crew will, sorry, not our ground crew, but everything is looking good. Our mission control will kind of begin to start. All tanks are full. Our tanks are full and at operating pressure. We will hold the tanks for a couple of minutes now before we begin our depress fins. We have 4 minutes. 4 minutes and counting before our full tanks. About 4 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is our final commentary for a little bit. This is, we will switch out to mission control. Thank you. It's 3 minutes. Everything is looking good. Everything is looking ominous. Mission control now. Everything is looking good. Wind is looking good. Everything is looking normal. Please remember to stay safe, stay on stream. Because today, Caribou will not have its launch, but it will have its first maiden voyage on, called Hello Beginnings, on May 20th. This is mission control right now. Ground operation has been concluded for today before our test finishes. At this time, everything is looking good. Mission control is looking normal. We have a beginning of our mission control. Everything is looking good. We have one of our mission control teams beginning to commentate in a little bit. We just have to wait on that.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Lock your Soyuz hatch and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. Commencing countdown, engines on. Detach from station and may God's love be with you. This is ground control to Major Tom. You've really made the grade, and the papers want to know whose shirts you wear.
Set up ready pressure.
Defense has started. Bit of a delay on that voice there, but we have everything good. We have our team over here. Everything is looking good. The press has begun. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, there was our D press. Test has concluded and our D press is now beginning. Thank you for joining us, I assume. Alright, we have reached operating pressure in the tanks, and everything is looking good. Thank you for joining us. Everything is looking good. Before you leave, our ground is now heading to the pad. The ground is heading to the pad in their cars. So please stand by for that, and then everything is looking good. Ground crew, ground crew. Ground crew, wait for depress. Ground crew, wait for depress. Alright, we gotta wait for this depress to end. And then we will have our ground crew ready. Again, as you can see, we've had a successful test. Our depress has begun, and we're just getting ready for our ground crew to come out. Everything is looking good, and we hope for everything to be good. Everything looks fine so far. So please remember that this was a test, and we wish for you to enjoy it. Thank you. Depress again has started. It's now ending a little bit soon. Once depressed, the smaller vent will do a longer minute depress in the bottom tank. So just please await for instructions, ground crew, or please await for instructions. Thank you. On Doomsday console. Again, we have had a successful flight. Mission control is now taking over. Ground team, stand by for depressurization. After depressurization, you have a small vent, and then you get to go onto the premises and go on the pad. So please remember, this was our first ever Elk test. Elk will be a huge rocket, but we have another one in the works. So please remember to stay here, and we wish you the best of luck. Alright, everything looks good. Ground crew. Everything is looking good. Stand by after depressurization is over. Just stand by.
She say that I'm cool. I'm like, yeah, that's true. I believe in G-O-D. Don't believe in T-H-O-T. She keep playing me dumb. I'm a player for fun. Y'all don't really know my mental. Let me give you the picture like stencil. Falling out in a drought. No flow rain was I'm pouring down. See that pain was all around. See my mode was kinda lounge. Didn't know which way to turn. Flow was cool, but I still felt burned. Energy up, you can feel my surge. I'ma kill everything like this purge. Let's just get this straight for a second. I'ma work, even if I don't get paid for progression. I'ma get it. Everything that I do is electric. I'ma keep it in motion, keep it moving like kinetic. Put this shit in a frame, better know I don't blame everything that I say. Man, I seen you deflate. Let me elevate. This ain't a prank. Have you walking on a plane? Both hands together, God, let me pray. I been going right around, call that relay. Pass the baton, back in the mall, swimming in the pool, can't take them all. Want a piece of this, a piece of mine, my piece of sign. Can you please read between the lines? My rhymes inclined to break your spine. They say that I'm so fine, you could never match my grind. Please do not waste my time. What you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean. Ay, what you know about rolling down in the deep? When your brain goes numb, you can call that mental freeze. When these people talk too much, put that shit in slow motion. Yeah, I feel like an astronaut in the ocean.
Event has been completed. Stand by for ground crew. Ground crew. This is everything is looking good on the vehicle. Ground crew. Mission control. This is ground crew. Alright, ground crew. Now safe to go and look at the pad. Ground crew is now coming onto the pad right now to check out elk. If you look closely, you will be able to see them, but they're currently looking onto right now. Looking right now. So please remember to. Village will be reopened shortly for all of our the people who live near here to be able to return. Ladies and gentlemen, at this hour, we seem to most likely lose our camera views. Not sure on that. Yes, we've lost our camera views. At this hour, remember to stay calm. We've lost our camera views due to 20-minute reset. So whatever you see on your screen is just what happens when there are some problems with the camera. So every 20 minutes, if you're not active on the camera or when the camera is not active for long, it just it messes up. So thank you for joining us today. You have permission to go now. Right, we have had a successful test today. We'll see you in the next test. And everything looks good. So thank you for joining us today. We wish you a good time. Everything looks good in our test, and we'll catch you in another time. Maybe for a caribou test flight. Never know. Thank you for joining us today. Goodbye.
a god-awful small affair to the girl with the mousy hair. But her mummy is yelling no, and her daddy has told her to go. But her friend is nowhere to be seen. Now she walks through her sunken dream to the seat with the clearest view, and she's hooked to the silver screen. But the film is a sad thing for she's lived it 10 times or more. She could spit in the eyes of fools as they